Hey everyone, welcome back to Bioschool. This is Gayatri. In today's session, we are going to learn about conjugation. It is a type of horizontal gene transfer. In the last session, we have discussed what is horizontal gene transfer, what is vertical gene transfer, and in details about transformation. Let's begin. The first question is, what is conjugation? Conjugation, it is the transfer of genetic material from one bacteria to another bacteria by physical contact. So let's say this one is a bacteria, one bacteria. Bacteria, it has its own chromosome, that is the bacterial chromosome, and a plasmid. This one is the plasmid. So the transfer of genetic material from one bacteria to other bacteria by physical contact is known as conjugation. Okay, so what is conjugation? Conjugation is transfer of genetic material from one bacteria to another bacteria by physical contact is known as conjugation. In transformation, what happened? In transformation, the DNA, the naked DNA or the foreign DNA, which is directly taken off from the environment by bacteria, there is no physical contact, but here the genetic material, it is transformed from one bacteria to another bacteria by physical contact. Okay, so let's know a little bit about the history. So who discovered conjugation? Conjugation, it was discovered by Lederberg and Tatum in the year 1946. Okay, they experimented with two auxotrophic strains of E. coli. Now the question is, what is auxotrophic and what is prototrophic, right? Auxotroph and what is auxotroph and what is prototroph? Auxotroph strains are mutants, whereas prototroph strains, they are the wild type. They are wild type. Auxotrophs, they cannot grow on minimal medium, but prototrophs, they can grow on minimal medium. Okay, so another question is, what is minimal medium and what is complete medium? Minimal medium means in the medium or the culture medium has minimum nutrients. Okay, minimal medium means the culture medium has minimum nutrients, and that minimum nutrients is enough for growth of prototrophs. Okay, that is enough for prototrophs. They are wild type and they can grow on minimal media. Minimal media means there is a minimum nutrient which is enough for growth of the prototrophs. Okay, and mutants or the auxotrophs, they cannot grow on minimal medium. Okay, or with minimum nutrient. For the growth of auxotrophs, they need complete medium. Complete medium means this medium is rich in nutrients. Okay, this is rich in nutrient so that auxotrophs or mutants, they can grow. Okay, so let's understand all this by example. So let's say this is the strain A, one strain. Okay, for the experiment, they experimented with two auxotrophic strains. Okay, so one auxotrophic strain is A and let's say the other one is strain B of E. coli. Okay, and these are the auxotrophic strains. Auxotrophic strains. Auxotrophic strain means what? Now you know, right? Auxotrophic means these are the mutants. So the oxytropic strain A, it has methionine minus, negative for methionine, also for biotin, threonine, negative, and positive for leucine and thiamine. Okay, so the oxytropic strain A is negative for methionine, biotin, threonine, and positive for leucine and threonine. Similarly, oxytropic strain B, it is positive for methionine, also positive for biotin, and negative for threonine, leucine, and thiamine. So the strain A, it is negative for methionine, biotin. That means the strain A, it can grow on minimal medium if in that medium methionine and biotin is present. Okay. Similarly, strain B, this is also an oxytropic strain. Okay, and it is negative for leucine and thiamine. That means this strain, it can grow on minimal medium if that medium has leucine and thiamine. Okay, so let me write down. Can grow if the oxytropic strain A, it is put in a minimal medium, and the medium that lacks the methionine and biotin, then the oxytropic strain A, it cannot grow. Okay, so no growth. Similarly, strain B in the minimal medium, as it is a oxytropic strain, okay, it and mutant for threonine, leucine, and the thiamine, it also cannot grow on minimal medium. Okay, no growth. Now mix the two strains. Okay, now mix the two strains, strain A and strain B. Mix the strains. Mix the strains. So if we mix the two strains, strain A and the strain B, then there is growth. Okay, then the growth of prototrophs. As we mix both the strain, then in the culture medium there is presence of methionine, there is presence of biotin plus threonine plus leucine plus and thiamine plus. Okay, if we mix this both the strain, then there is growth of prototrophs. If both the strains are mixed, then in the medium there is presence of all the nutrients like methionine, biotin, threonine, leucine and thiamine. Okay, the evidence for cell to cell contact or the physical contact which is required for the conjugation was provided by Davis in year 1950. Okay, conjugation requires physical contact, and for that experiment he took an U tube, that means a U-shaped tube. Okay, this is an U-shaped tube. In the U-shaped tube, on one side is containing oxytropic strain A. Okay, one side it contains the oxytropic strain A, and other side it contains the strain B. And here the center a filter is present. Okay, the two arms of the U2. Okay, these two arms, arm 1 and arm 2, where in arm 1 strain A is present and arm 2 strain B is present, and these two arms are separated by a filter, and through this filter only medium can move. Okay, through this filter only the mediums can move, not the cells, not the bacteria. Okay, only the medium can move through the filter. Okay, there is no growth on both the arm of U2. Through this filter, only medium can pass through, but not the bacteria. Okay, so from this experiment, Davis, he concluded that for the recombination of genetic materials in bacteria, the physical contact is required. So in the next step, now we'll see some of the conjugation between the bacteria. So first, let's know some terms. So these are two bacteria. In the bacteria, there is a presence of this one is the bacterial chromosome, and this one is the F plasmid. This F plasmid, it is also called as F factor. This F plasmid is called as F factor. Also it is called as the sex factor. Okay, this F plasmid is called as the F factor or sex factor, and in the bacteria on which this F factor is present, that bacteria is known as F plus. And look at this bacteria, it lacks that F factor, so it will be represented by F minus. Okay, if it is F plus, then F plasmid or F factor is present in the bacteria, and if F factor is absent, then that bacteria is represented by F minus. Okay, so from this, can you tell me which one is the donor? Yes, the F plus, it is the donor of genetic material. Okay, so during the conjugation, these two bacteria, they will be joined, or they will be physical contact with each other by a conjugation tube, and this conjugation tube, it is formed by F factor. Okay, this will be formed by F factor, and through the F factor, the F plasmid, first there will be a nick in the F plasmid. Then what will happen? Then it will start moving from one bacteria to other bacteria. Okay, so one strand is present, and other strands of plasmid DNA or the F factor, it transport to the recipient. Then both the donor and the recipient bacteria, they will synthesize their complement strands. Then both are F plus, both the donor and the recipient has F factor. Okay, if we conjugate F plus bacteria and F minus bacteria, then what will form at the end? It will be both F plus. Okay, because the F factor, it will transfer from one bacteria to other bacteria, then both will synthesize their complement strands. Now both the bacteria have F factor. Okay, so if we conjugate F plus and F minus, then what we will get? We will get both F plus. Then the next term is HFR. What is HFR cell? HFR is high frequency recombination. That means there is a high chance of recombination. Okay, so this one is the bacteria, and this is the bacterial chromosome, and this one is the F factor, or it is called the sex factor. Okay, so when this F factor, it is integrated with the bacterial chromosomal DNA, then that bacteria is known as high frequency recombination bacteria. So this is known as the HFR bacteria. So what is the HFR, high frequency recombinant bacteria? When the F factor, this one is the F factor. Okay, so when this F factor, it integrated with bacterial chromosomal DNA, then that bacteria is known as high frequency recombination bacteria. Okay, got it? So now have a look on conjugation between HFR cell and F minus cell. So this one is the HFR and this one is the F minus bacteria, and now we will conjugate between them. So the first point, the cell, they will be joined by a conjugation tube. Then in the next step, there will be nick on F factor. Let's say this red dot, it is the nick, and always the F factor is start to move. Now the F factor, it will, or the portion of F plasmid, it will move into recipient cell. Okay, so it will start to move from the 5' end F factor. Some of the bacterial DNA also start to move to the recipient cell. So not only the F factor, also some of the bacterial DNA or the donor's DNA, it will move to the recipient bacteria. Now in the recipient has piece of F plasmid or F factor and piece of donor DNA. Okay, and some piece of F factor still present in the donor. Okay, so now the recipient, after the conjugation, they are still at F minus stage. Okay, and this one, the donor is at HFR stage and recipient is F minus stage, because the recipient, it cannot receive the whole F factor, it receive only a piece of F factor. Why so? Because, okay, so the replication of origin, it lies somewhere in the middle of F factor. Okay, so the portion of the F factor that lies 5' end enter first. Okay, that lies the 5' end, that enters first to the recipient cell, but the portion which is situated at the 3' end, that will, this portion, okay, which is lies at the 3' end, that will enter to the recipient only when whole bacterial chromosomal DNA it enter into the recipient cell, right? But for the transformation of whole chromosomal DNA, it takes around 100 minutes in E. coli. But in most of the cases, the conjugation tube, okay, this is the conjugation tube. This conjugation tube, it will break before transformation of whole chromosomal DNA. So it will result in interrupted mating. So if we conjugate between the high frequency recombinant bacteria HFR with F minus bacteria, then what will happen? First, a nuke will formed at the origin of replication of F factor, which is present at the middle. Then from that, the F factor, it will start move through conjugation tube into the recipient cell. Along with that, some of the bacterial DNA will also move to the recipient cell. Okay, so in the recipient cell, it has the piece of F factor and piece of donor DNA, and the recipient cell is still in F minus because the whole F factor is not transformed. Why? For the transformation of whole F factor, the whole chromosomal DNA, it should be transformed from the donor to the recipient. But for that transformation, it requires 100 minutes in E. coli. But before the completion of time, the conjugation tube, it breaks, and that results in the interrupted mating. Okay, so here, though here the frequency of recombination is high, but complete F factor is not transferred. Okay, you will observe merozygotes. Okay, what you will observe? These are not diploid, partially diploid. So you will find this one is the merozygote. Merozygote means it is partially diploid. Okay, let's say in the donor there is a presence of a gene that is for the lactose, and this particular gene, it is transformed along with the F factor to the recipient cell. That means the zygote is diploid but for lactose. Okay, so let's say the other one, that is a conjugation between F dash or F prime with F minus. So what is F prime? F prime, it is produced from HFR. It is produced from HFR bacteria. HFR means high frequency recombination, and I have told you how the high frequency recombination it formed. So HFR means F factor is integrated with the bacterial chromosome. During excision of F plasmid from the genome, okay, when there is excision of F plasmid from the genome, some of the chromosomal genes are also excised. That is called as F prime. So what is F prime? F prime is the bacteria which contains F factor. Here the F factor is complete F factor. Okay, F factor and a part of donor's DNA or part of donor's DNA in it. Okay, so this one is the F prime. So it contains the F factor and a part of donor's DNA. When it is conjugated with F minus, then what will be the final product? First, the cells, they will contact with each other by conjugation tube. Okay, then the F factor, it will start to move. There will be a nick, then the F factor, it will start to move. Okay, as the F factor is moves, along with the F factor, the portion of or the part of donor's DNA will also move to the recipient cell. Okay, so in the final we will get both F prime. Okay, so through the conjugation tube, along with the complete F factor, it will move complete F factor. So through the conjugation tube, complete F factor, it will move along with the portion of the or the part of the donor's DNA. Okay, then they will synthesize their complement strand. So here in F prime and F minus conjugation, we will get 2 F prime. Okay, what we will get? We will get 2 F prime. Here the frequency is high, recombination frequency is high, and complete transfer of F factor, complete transfer of F factor. That's why it forms the F prime, 2 F prime. Okay, that's why it forms the F prime in the recipient also. Okay, so let's solve this question. 2 HFR strains, HFR1, arginine plus, leucine plus, galactose plus, and streptomycin S. Streptomycin S means it is sensitive for streptomycin. If in the medium streptomycin is present, then HFR1 strain, it cannot grow. Okay, and HFR2 is arginine plus, histidine plus, galactose plus, pyromycin resistance, and PUR, that means its resistance, and streptomycin sensitive. Pyromycin resistance means if in the medium pyromycin is present, then it can grow, and sensitive means if it is present in the medium, then it cannot grow. Okay, so resistance means positive, sensitive means negative. Okay, resistance means if it is present in the medium, then it can grow. If it is sensitive, like a streptomycin sensitive, that means if the streptomycin is present in the medium, then it cannot grow. Okay, HFR strain 1 and HFR strain 2 were mated with F minus strain. Okay, F minus strain, that is arginine minus, leucine minus, galactose minus, histidine minus, pyromycin sensitive, and streptomycin resistance. The results of the interrupted mating experiments are shown as plot P and Q respectively. Okay, so HFR two HFR strains, strain 1 and the strain 2, they were mated with F minus strain, okay, and that results in the interrupted mating. I have told you in the explanation above, because in HFR strain only the portion of F factor along with a portion of donor's DNA is transformed, because for complete transfer it requires 100 minutes, and before that the conjugation tube it breaks, okay, that results in interrupted mating, okay, I have explained. So here also it results in interrupted mating. And the time of interruption, so at what time the mating is interrupted, that is represented in minutes, and the number of recombinants also mentioned here for both P and Q. What you have to find out, based on these results, identify which of the option accurately reflects the order of loci. So here we have to find out the gene order, okay. In microbial genetics, as we have discussed in transformation, that also we have to find out the gene order. In conjugation you will get a question to find out the gene order. So how can we will find out the gene order? So first we will try to find out the gene order for plot P. So in the plot P, in 10 minutes, plot P at 10 minutes, there is arginine, then streptomycin. So let me write down for plot P. First it will be the arginine, 10 minutes, then streptomycin, then leucine, okay, leucine at 20 minutes, then galactose. This is for P. Similarly, let me write down for Q. Q first, it will be arginine, then streptomycin, then histidine, then galactose, then pyromycin, okay. Based on this you have to find out the gene order. So first it will be arginine, okay, genetic order or the gene order will be arginine will be first, then in the second position will be streptomycin, then in the third position it will be the leucine or histidine. We have to find out. So how can we find out? For finding out this, we have to look at the time of interruption. For leucine it is transport at 20 minutes, okay, and the histidine it transport at 10 minutes. So which one will be fast, histidine or leucine? Of course the histidine will be fast because it transport at 10 minutes. So what will be the order? The order will be like this: first arginine, then the second streptomycin, then the third it will be histidine, because histidine it transported 10 minutes and the leucine at 20, okay, histidine at 10 minutes and leucine at 20. So first it will be the histidine, after histidine then there will be leucine, then leucine it will be the galactose, then after that it will be pyromycin, okay. So the order is arginine, streptomycin, histidine, leucine, galactose, then pyromycin. So look at the options. Option A, arginine, then leucine, then histidine. No, it will be not the correct answer. Arginine, then histidine, then leucine, galactose and pyromycin. Yes, this one is the correct answer. So for this question the correct answer is option B, okay, arginine, then streptomycin. Actually the streptomycin is absent in all the options. So first arginine, then histidine, then leucine, then galactose, then pyromycin. So in this question it carries 4 marks. By this way you can solve any questions from bacterial genetics. Thank you so much for joining me today. In the upcoming video I will solve some more questions. So till then keep learning, stay tuned. Bye bye, see you in my next video.